it's Opex. I'm surprised I didn't get as much low IQ comments in my last video, but it is what it is. I usually expect somebody to be a moron and not provide any reason or evidence and just bitch about something. And I figured that would have happened last video, but it didn't. Maybe I should go more intense. So, I want to talk about what I've talked about in the past, but I'm going to change it up a little bit. Now, if you watched my video, The Reason for My Motivation, you know that I basically had to start working out and being healthy, fix my cardio, and I switched to a vegan diet. These things saved my life, and I'm not joking when I say this. It saved my life. I would not be here today if it wasn't for this dramatic change that occurred in 2013. 2013 saved my life, for sure. 2013, 2014, and then I kind of started eating meat again back in 2015. But I want to talk about the vegan diet and what it did for me. And I know you already turned off this video because you heard vegan, or you have... I'm not going to put vegan in the title because no one's going to click on it because people are like, no, don't force your shit on me. I'm just telling you that it saved my life. Now, I've talked about it in the past that you shouldn't eat meat, that it's bad for you. I am wrong and right when I say this. Now, this is like the first time I'm explaining a specific position on this. I'm not saying meat from like, our ancestors ate meat is bad. If you had a fresh kill in the forest, like an elk, you kill your elk or deer or buck or whatever it is, you cook it up and you devour it, it's extremely healthy considering anything else really that you could be eating right now. Even healthier than some of the vegetables you're getting at the store, which is full of chemicals on it. They're genetically modifying this stuff, which is mutating your cells, your DNA. And meat itself isn't bad for you. It's extremely healthy. Back in the day, we had people that had to survive the winter. And if you're not going to have fruits and vegetables all winter long, it's just not going to happen. And if it was able to happen for you, it's not going to be fresh. It's not going to be healthy to eat. It's going to be rotten. You're not going to be able to store it very well or eat it very well because of the scenario. So you would have to go out and hunt in order to get a fresh meal. Cook it up and eat it, and that would help you all winter long. It helps you to store fat. However, the meat nowadays has a lot more fat to it than it did back in the day. A lot of it has to do with animal farms. So they have farms where they keep the meat, or keep the cows, the animals, right? Keep all the pigs in these areas with lack of exercise, so they don't move much. They get plump. They fill them with growth hormones, and then they get butchered and the whole nine, right? So they're feeding them pretty shitty foods, not to mention. There's nothing about this animal now, after human intervention, that is considered healthy. There's nothing to it that is healthy. It is full of carcinogens now. When you're putting an animal through that much stress in that type of environment, especially a slaughterhouse and things of that nature, where you're scaring the fuck out of it 90% of the day, and it's docile and you can't move and it's not healthy, well, that meat's not going to be healthy. And it becomes carcinogenic. Especially in the process of when it dies, it releases tons of hormones and chemicals into its meat. I'm sorry, I'm driving, so I'm trying to stay focused. Besides, you guys already turned the shit off when I said vegan. The meat nowadays is disgusting. It's not real meat. If you take even just a beef patty, a hamburger patty, That shit is like half meat, maybe. And not to mention, it's all processed. So we took meat in the worst form ever to be extracted from the animal. The worst case scenario for meat to be extracted. Then they process it over and over. They add their dyes to it. Steak is supposed to be brown. The meat from cows is supposed to be brown. Then they add all the red dyes to it, and the red water dyes, to make it look more appealing. Like pink and red is supposed to be more appealing. Even purple, like a dark purplish brown. That's what meat's supposed to look like. It's not supposed to look like bloody or whatever the fuck they're trying to make it look like. And they add all this shit. They add all their chemicals to it. They add salt to it. They add tons of shit to it. They process the fuck out of it. And then boom, here's your Slim Jim. Eat that shit. That ain't food. That's terrible for you. Slim Jims cause cancer, cause diabetes, cause all types of disease, inflammation, and clot your arteries. But if you just killed the buck that was eating, natural food that it was supposed to, it's getting enough exercise, shit, chop off that nigga's head and fucking cook it. That's what we're supposed to be doing. Eating fresh, healthy food. We're not supposed to have them sit in the fucking cage all day long, getting fat, pumping it up with growth hormones, and it just gets chunkier and fatter and more unhealthy. That's disgusting. That is utterly disgusting. And it's not, and it's contaminating the food. Like I said, it becomes an extreme carcinogen. Not to mention you're devouring all the chemicals and the hormones, and the meat's just not healthy. Imagine if you're growing a tomato. You add nothing to it. You don't water it very much. And it just is a rotten tomato. The whole plant is full of rotten tomatoes. You're either flooding it or you're not making the environment healthy for the tomato. What happens? It rots. You're not supposed to eat that shit. And instead of fixing the environment for the animals to make them best, most nutritious, most healthy to eat, they just pump them full of all the shit to get them to weight faster. In like a quarter of the time they get them to weight. A pig to 80 pounds in like a quarter of the time it's supposed to take. I mean, it's a disgusting process. So when you're going to Taco Bell and you think that is relatively food, it's not. It is not. That is not food. That is shit that I'm talking about. A lot of times, just you go into your local supermarket, you buy a whole, let's say, 2 pounds of beef, and you cook this beef and eat it. It's not really fully real food. Wow, is this vibrating pretty fucking fierce? Sorry about the vibration. Alright, so give me 1 second. This guy's gonna let me over. Oh, I love this truck. I just pass all the other trucks. Alright, so the point of this video is not me repeating that meat is not good for you. It's the current state of the meat. It is killing it after a lifelong of destroying it, destroying the nutritional value, destroying everything that it's eating is terrible, pumping it full of fucking antibiotics to growth hormones to all the shit that's not good for the animal, let alone you devouring it, to processing it, adding more chemicals to it, and making it look okay, to getting shipped halfway across the country, to getting to your grimy hands to getting it to the grill eventually. All right, this process is not healthy. It's not good. And in order to make the meat itself taste good, to make fucking these guys suck at driving. Have you ever noticed going in the fast lane, people are just going way below the speed limit? And then the slow truck that you passed a mile ago just goes right by you on the slow side of things. What the fuck? Why are you going so slow? Anyways, I know that you guys know what I'm getting at here. It's the meat of 2017 that is fucking horrendous. It's terrible for you. It's giving you cancer. It's giving you all types of diseases. It's definitely giving you inflammation. It is not good for you. There is no nutrients in this food. It is all chemicals. It's all processed. And just like I said before in many of my other videos when I discuss how processed food works, think of your body digesting the food and extracting all the nutrients, taking in all the nutrients and then excreting the rest. All right? Think of this. That's what they're doing when they process foods. They take out all the nutrients and you're left with essentially cardboard. God. Now Melonhead that was going 20 under the speed limit wants to go fucking 10 over now. Just terrible drivers. Is it a woman? No, it's a man. Wow. Wow. Not trying to be sexist, but at least 95% of the time, that would be a woman. Just not paying attention, listening to the radio or a podcast. Dude, yeah, this guy's driving terribly. He's just going right behind a truck, and then, oh man, what an idiot. Anyways, don't get me started on the four-wheelers. They suck. Alright, so I'm just going to leave you with that I'm not changing my stance on meat. I'm just discussing why you shouldn't eat the type of meat that we're eating at the grocery store, at the supermarket. That is not good meat. Fast food, shit, even those restaurant chains. Unless they're killing it fresh and storing it completely healthy and in a decent manner, don't eat this shit. It is terrible for you. This is one of the reasons we have so many health problems, is because of the meat industry in 2017. It's not going to get any better, especially when everyone has to put their money towards this shit, right? It's not getting any better. But if you were to be a hunter and you killed your own food, let's say that buck or elk or even moose, I don't know if that's actually legal, but if you killed a moose, that shit would be healthy as fuck for you. You're not going to eat that shit and then all of a sudden, your body breaks down. But trust me, I went to McDonald's the other day. I ate the fucking burger. I ate a burger, the garbage fries, and something else. And I think a McChicken. I ate 3 fucking things at McDonald's. I felt lethargic within half an hour. I felt terrible. My body didn't know how to fucking handle this shit. And now, I want to get rid of meat completely out of my diet, at least in terms of fast food, going to restaurants, unless I know where this meat came from and how fresh it actually is. I'm not against eating animals. So if you watch my videos in the past and you've seen the vegan is the healthiest diet, it is. It's the healthiest diet. And if you want to add a fresh kill out of the forest, then yes, you can add that to it and it's still the healthiest diet. But if you're going to the supermarket, you get a slab of that steak or a pork tenderloin. Sounds good, sounds healthy. Not really. It's a lot better than the fast food joints, obviously, and Slim Jims out of the gas station, which you don't even need refrigeration to keep it pasteurized, not pasteurized, brain fart. Anyways, you don't need refrigeration to keep it fresh. But that's the issue here, is that people are not killing their own food. It's being traveled from halfway across the country, coming from a small cage all day, pumped full of chemicals, antibiotics, and you guys can't argue this. You can always say, like, oh, free range this. That's not free range. Like, people think that just because a cow is outside that it's free range, and technically under legal law it is. Go to Kansas, go up what's that fucking road that I bitched about last time I was talking about the slaughter, the animal farming video. I was really pissed and I was smelling the feces. Dude, there was 100,000 fucking cows, easy. And I'm not bullshitting. It definitely more than 50,000 cows in less than an acre. I mean, in like an acre, in less than a mile, square mile. And they're all shoulder to shoulder to each other, choking on the feces. Tell me how that fucking shit's healthy. Tell me, explain it to me. I was puking. Go to that video. I was basically vomiting for miles. Even after I passed that 10, 15 miles, that's all I smelt. That's everything that I smelt was that, because that's how bad it was. 10 miles away, and all I smelt was that shit that they're literally choking on all day long. And I want to vomit. Tell me how that's good for you. Where the fuck am I? But, yeah, know where your fucking food's coming from. If it just says free range, don't trust it. Because just because a cow's outside makes it free range in legal terms. They could be choking on their feces all day long. It's still considered free range. Basically, if it's cage-free, it's considered free range. So, if it's in a barn, I'm sure you guys seen these videos of the slaughterhouses or the animal farms where you'll see 100,000 chickens, literally like 100,000 chickens in a barn, like all hopping on each other, stepping over each other. That's considered free range, seriously, under legal law. So just because it says free range doesn't mean it's healthy. And just because they say it's organic does not make it healthy. Now, does all these things make it better? Sure, it makes it better. They can actually breathe the fresh air. They can actually have oxygen and shit like that, right? They have access to that. They have access to grass, generally. So, yes, is it healthier? Sure. But that doesn't make it altogether healthy, like a fresh game would be. Now, as you guys probably see, you know, you'll see like 10 cows in 5 acres. That is healthy as can be. That's what you should strive for. Make sure that the farmer's not pumping it full of hormones and antibiotics. But nevertheless, by the time it gets to the grocery store, there's so many chemical dyes put on it, shit like that. And there are chemicals out there that are considered organic, a lot of them. So, again, just because it says organic doesn't make it fresh or healthy, or chemical-free, rather. I think organic means like no antibiotics. A lot of chemicals are not allowed, obviously, but I think chemical dyes are. I've seen so many things that say that they're organic and they're clearly dyed by a chemical. You'll see organic fruit snacks, and they have all different types of colors, right? So understand that, or just because it says organic or free range does not make it as healthy as the food should be. So that's my take on this. I'm not a fucking, you know, a hippie vegan. I mean, kind of, but not really. So understand my take on it and understand what I really mean when I say that meat isn't good. Because this is what I should have said a long time ago, but no one questioned it, so I didn't really have that question pop up. A lot of people don't question my shit as much as they should. I wish everyone just questioned my things that I say, so it keeps me in check. Did I give you the right information? Did I fuck up? Did I make an accident on what I said? Definitely try to keep me in check. And don't give me opinions, just try to keep me in check with evidence, right? Or a type of reasoning that is substantial and understandable. Alright, that's enough for this video. Obviously, no one wants to hear 20 minutes of why meat is bad in 2017. And I think that's what I'm going to label this. Just so people understand and people are a little intrigued, probably. Instead of saying why you should go vegan or why you should hunt your meals instead. I don't know. Alright, that's enough for this video. Tons more content coming your way. Stay tuned for more content. Mind of Opex. I'm out.